This movie is like a wannabe Saw, but I don't think it's terrible. Let's do it. Vile is about this group of 4 friends that is on a trip. 2 of them are Nick and Taylor, who are a couple, and the other 2 are Tony and Kai, who are also a couple, and Taylor tells Kai that she's pregnant, but she doesn't know when to tell Nick. As they're driving one night, they stop at a gas station where they see this hitchhiker, Diane, asking for a ride, and Nick, for some reason, agrees to it, even though Taylor is hesitant. So they drive Diane home, and when they get there, she offers to give the girls these, beauty samples, and when she comes back, she gasses them, and they pass out. When the 4 of them wake up, they find themselves in a house strapped to chairs with a bunch of other strangers. One of these strangers, Greg, goes up to Kai and just rips one of her fingernails out. So of course everybody starts screaming and arguing. Eventually the 4 of them get out of the chairs that they're tied to and they all start talking about what the fuck is going on. And the rest of the group makes the 4 of them watch this video of this woman. And they notice they all have these gadgets attached to the back of their necks and their spines. And this woman in this video tells them that these gadgets are designed to collect this chemical from them. And the only way they can get this certain chemical is by causing pain. And this meter shows up and she tells them that they have 24 hours to make this meter reach 100%, and that's the only way they're going to get out of this house. Because they're completely locked in this house, and if they don't do that within 24 hours, then the gadgets on the back of their necks are going to kill them. And also, the moment you start torturing somebody is when the timer starts. So because Greg pulled Kai's fingernail out, the timer has started. Now there's one guy, Julian, who thinks that this is total bullshit, so he goes to pull the thing out of his neck and immediately drops dead. So the rest of them decide that there is really no other option out of this other than doing what she said. And they decided they are each going to have to take turns torturing each other to get that meter to 100%. And they all decide that the asshole Greg is going to go first. Some of them are suspicious of him because they think that he knows more than he's letting on. And he basically tells them, I will personally torture every single one of you if it means that I get home to my son. I'm fucking getting out of here. So the group agrees on the plan and all agrees that Greg is going to go first, and they tie him down and start torturing him. Now, one of the other women in the house, Tara, is especially brutal. And she ends up breaking Greg's leg with a drill. And because of the amount of pain they've all caused him at once, he goes unconscious and becomes comatose. So the rest of the group sees this and is okay, I guess that was a little too much. So now they decide that they're going to take turns and they're only going to torture each other for 6% of the meter at a time. So they'll do 6% to you and then go through everybody else and then do 6% to you again, and that should get us all to 100. So they randomly select numbers and they do it. And the first person is Sam. They tie him down and burn him with an iron and rip his fingernails out. There's a lot of fingernail shit in this movie. And then Tony goes and then Nick goes. And when it comes to be Taylor's turn, she reveals that she is pregnant. Now at this point, she's also realized that she has painkillers in her shoe that Kai had given her earlier, and she had slipped some to Nick before his turn. But this caused the meter to go up way slower and them have to torture him way more to get to that 6% because he couldn't really feel anything. So Nick offers to go for Taylor, but they're you can't, your meter's not going up high enough, we'll accidentally kill you. So while they're trying to figure out who's going to step in for Taylor, this girl Lisa is next, but she gets so scared she runs away and tries to hide. But there's no fucking hiding here. They literally drag her out and torture her anyway to get to her 6%. So at this point, Greg has come to, and the group had already discussed that they wanted to leave him here when they were able to get out because he was unconscious and was not going to be able to fend for himself. Tara during this is just a terrible, awful bitch as she has been the whole movie, and Tony comes up and just straight up punches her in the face and knocks her out to shut her up finally. And then Tony and Kai decide that they are going to help Taylor get to her 6%. So the 3 of them at the same time decide to stick their arms in a pot of boiling water. But when they go to do it, Kai chickens out, so Tony keeps his arm in for longer. When all of a sudden, Tara, who has regained consciousness, comes in with a fucking knife and tries to stab Tony to death. And this causes him to drop the pot of boiling water all over himself and fall in it. Tara manages to stab Tony in the shoulder and is going to stab him again before Nick punches her out a second time. And when Tara wakes up, we see that it's her turn. However, the group tells her, we're gonna get you to a little more than 6%. Basically, this is where being a raging bitch gets you. So she, of course, tries to apologize and redeem herself. And at one point, she's able to break one of her hands free and grab a knife, and she slashes, and when she does, she slits Kai's throat, and Kai bleeds out and dies. So Tony literally holds his girlfriend as she dies in his arms, and completely enraged goes back to the table where the others have managed to retie Tara. And he's like, I'm gonna take care of this. Does anybody have a fucking problem with that? And everybody's like, nope, do your thing, my guy. So he proceeds to torture her until the meter gets to 80%. So she did over 30%. So then the remaining ones who are still alive and conscious decide they're going to finish the meter by breaking each other's collarbones. And it works. They do it. The meter gets to 100%. And as it does, they get another video from the woman at the beginning again, congratulating them on getting it done. And she instructs them that there is this gadget near the door and you are going to put your devices into that gadget. And then it is going to allow the door to open for one person for them to escape. So everybody goes. Sam, Lisa, they send Tara's like unconscious body out. They send Kai's body out. Tony goes out, and then Nick and Taylor go back to get Greg. But then all of a sudden, Nick hears Tony yelling for him on the other side of the wall. So Taylor tells Nick to go and says that she's going to get Greg and bring him out. And when Nick gets to the other side, he sees that Sam has attacked and killed everybody. So Nick proceeds to follow Sam to another room where Sam then removes the gadget from the back of his neck. Back in the house, Greg confesses to Taylor that everybody was right and he did know more than he let on. And he explains how he knows about this cult that has orchestrated this whole thing. And basically, this cult believes that everybody needs to experience pain and agony. Greg dies, leaving Taylor alone, and all of a sudden, she looks up at the meter and sees that it's back at like 80-something%, which happened when Sam removed his gadget because that took away the percentage that he got. So Taylor, now completely desperate, understands that the only way to get out of this is by torturing herself again. And she proceeds to do it. She like pours bleach in her wounds. She smashes her hand in a cupboard. Meanwhile, Nick is confronting Sam like, why the fuck are you doing this? And Sam explains that he believes that everybody needs to experience pain to like be cleansed and become innocent. And then Sam activates this device that causes poison to go into all of them through the gadgets in their neck. But he tells them you're gonna have like 10 minutes, this thing is slow acting. Slow acting poison, very Jigsaw of you. At this point though, Nick has had enough and he attacks Sam. A struggle ensues between the two of them, but ultimately Nick is able to kill Sam with a screwdriver. And then he finds this bottle of pills that he takes which counteracts the poison, so Nick is safe. Nick finds everybody else who is barely clinging on to life dead, and he's unable to get to Taylor and she dies. So Nick leaves alone, being the sole survivor. Sometime later, we flash forward and we see Nick sitting in a diner, and he looks out the window and spots Diane, the hitchhiking bitch that got them into this in the fucking first place. He proceeds to follow her as she is trying to find more victims to put into this experiment, and he knocks her unconscious and throws her into the trunk of his car, and the movie ends.
In this video, the Lorax puts a monster inside your stomach.
Bro, ew, what is that? He eating too, pause. How to eat children?
Oh, you've just eaten my seed, Onceler. Huh?
I beg your pardon?
Already can feel your body changing, Onceler.
I mean, my tummy hurts a bit, but... don't you worry, baby girl. Daddy Lorax will be always here to protect you.
Oh, no.
What the hell?
Oh, no, you need to get out of there.
What is
And now
going
you're
on
pregnant.
with my
Okay.
body?
You're having his baby. Why he skedaddle like that?
Show me how bad can you be.
Ew!
Let it grow.
Oh, nah.
Make sure your kids do not believe in duendes. That is what the girl says in this story, and I'm gonna explain to you what happened to her. The story I'm about to tell you happened to Rosa when she was about 5 or 6 years old, and just so you know, she is 29 years old right now. So Rosa, when she was little, she says that she was the type of little girl that could not stay still. She could never focus. Like if they were giving her like homework or anything like that, she says that because of this, her parents kind of learned to like ignore her because she was just up to something all the time. And there was also just sequence of events that happened where the parents almost didn't have time to like give all their attention to her. For example, one of the things that happened around that time was that the dad lost his job. They were really deep in debt, so any spare time that the dad had, he spent it trying to find odd jobs because he really needed that money. Around the same time, her mom's brother passes away. The day comes where they're gonna bury the mom's brother, her uncle, to rest, and the dad can't even join them because of all the different jobs he has. So her and mom end up going to the cemetery. When Rosa and the mom get to the cemetery, Rosa says that her mom tells her, okay, this is a serious moment. I do not want you wandering off. You cannot play around here. This is serious and you have to behave. You're gonna listen to me. And Rosa says that she agreed with mom, but obviously that is not what Rosa did because again, she's a kid, she couldn't focus, and this is a new place for her. Like, she had never been to a cemetery before. Rosa says that she remembers when her mom was like, you're not gonna sing, you're not gonna dance, you're gonna be by my side the entire time. I'm gonna hold your hand and you're not gonna go anywhere. And, you know, she nodded in agreement. When they got to the cemetery, she said that they got there late because it had already started. So when they get close to everybody, a lot of the people came to say hi to the mom, they say hi to Rosita, and it was just enough time for the mom to not pay attention to Rosita and for her to have left and explored the cemetery. I'm talking 30 seconds and she was already breaking all of the rules. Rosa says that she started walking around and exploring and everything felt so amazing and new for her. She was looking at the headstones, she was looking at the flowers, and she was just in awe with everything. She says she was having so much fun because apart from this place being new to her, there was nobody there other than her family that was standing farther away from her. So as she's walking and exploring, she sees a really big mausoleum. When she hears a voice say, "Hey, I have candy. Do you want one?" When she turns to look, she says that she just sees a hand, and the hand was like dirty and green, but there was a lollipop hanging at the end of it. And again, the hand with the dangling lollipop says, "Do you want it?" Even though Rosa was always at 100, always doing everything in that moment, she doesn't remember when, but she remembers that her mother tells her never go with strangers, never take candy from strangers, and she's a little bit hesitant. So Rosa ends up just moving her head, nodding no, and then she kind of gave in and ended up going like this, like, yes, I want that lollipop. I mean, at the end of the day, she is a little girl, and who is gonna resist candy? After nodding yes, she said that the lollipop started getting closer and closer to her, but it was in that moment where a head popped out of that mausoleum, and her immediate reaction was, "Un duende." She says that she still remembers how the face was dirty and green, and she could tell that the ears were very pointy at the end, and that's when he says, "Ven, niña, aquí tengo más niños y más dulces. Come, little girl, I have more kids here and more candies. Ven, ¿quieres la paleta? Come, do you want the lollipop?" And that's when she started nodding no again. And the duende was like, "Ven, mira, te la voy a dejar aquí. Aquí pa' que la agarres. Come, I'm gonna leave the lollipop right here, right where you can reach it." Rosa says that she reached for that lollipop, which was a big mistake because obviously the duende was up to no good. The second that she reached for the lollipop, that duende reached for her arm. Obviously, Rosa was not strong enough to pull away from the duende, and she says that the duende picks her up and gets some powder in his hand and throws it at her face. She says that the second that powder hits her face, everything got cloudy. She was no longer like awake. She was going into a weird trance. She says that she could still feel how the duende put her up against his shoulder and started taking her, but that was also the moment where she heard screams all around her, and in a split second she ends up waking up in a hospital. She says when she wakes up, she sees and hears her mom crying and just apologizing for not having taken better care of her, and she's distressed. When she hears her mom crying and, you know, saying all this, she turns to her mom and she's like, "No, Mom, but nothing happened to me. It was just the duende." She says that in that moment, the doctor and the mom just got so silent. Now that she's an adult, she says that she thinks that things could have gotten a lot worse if they hadn't found her at that very moment. Also, just a side note, I've heard that duendes come for your kids when they feel like you're not treating them right or taking care of them. Do you guys think that this is like what could have happened to her? I don't know, but I'm a little scared, you know. I'm gonna watch cartoons tonight to go to sleep. But what do you guys think?
In this video, a terrifying monster chases you home.
Oh my god. Why is this one like so cinematic? Hello? Ugh! Oh, why is he stalking us? Oh, 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 boy. Ah! Yo, get out of there! Oh my god. Oh, you was a creep. Oh no. Why is he like licking at her? Oh, heck no, bruh. Yo, call 911. Oh,
What the? What the hell are you? Get out of my bed! What the hell no. Wait.
Он не шевелится и не разговаривает. Я не знаю, вызывать ли полицию или что-то. Merlin?
What the fuck? What the? What? What? What the? What the fuck?
Open the door. Because I opened the door, so I'm not going to do that this time, but it's back. Open the door. Open the door, please. Please, please, please open the door, please. Open the door.
Yep. Yep, there it is. Time to go.
Talks about being nice to the kitten, okay?
Die!
He does.
You will die!
Sylvester! Okay, yeah, he's pissed. We should probably go.
Die!
Red. Red!
Hi, here are some horror movie deaths that affected me so personally that I still think about them from time to time, even though I haven't watched some of these movies in years. And these aren't going to be like your Nancy from Dream Warriors. A lot of these are very specific, probably weirdly specific. And there's going to be spoilers here, so there's your warning. Bob from Beetlejuice 2. So much so that to cope, I made this shirt saying Bob deserved better with a picture of him on it. I literally made these the day I saw Beetlejuice 2 because I was in mourning and didn't know what to do. Bob deserved better. He is a fucking legacy character, and you're just gonna have his soul sucked out of him like that? And the way his eyes looked when it was happening, like, he just looked so sad. I might cry in this video. Woody from the summer of '84. Like, I literally will just be laying in my bed minding my own business, and all of a sudden Woody's death pops into my mind and I start fucking crying. The reason that this is so devastating, if you have not seen this movie, Woody's mother is an alcoholic, and as he and his friend are hiding from this killer in the woods, he literally says to his friend, "I can't die, my mom needs me." And then proceeds to die. She must have been so devastated. Woody deserved better. This one should go without fucking saying. Sang-Hwa from Train to Busan. My favorite zombie movie of all time, and probably the movie that I've watched that has made me feel the most emotion. I ugly cried during this movie, and I want to watch it again, but I literally don't think I have the mental capacity to do so. The fact that Sang-Hwa looks at his pregnant wife and tells her what he wants their daughter's name to be before he sacrifices himself for them. Our hero and our king, we will love you forever. Ugh. Billy from Dr. Sleep. Billy literally just wanted to do well and wanted everybody to succeed and be happy. This man is the definition of a fucking ride or die. Like, Dan literally told him what was happening and he, without question, was like, yup, let's go. He got fucking killed for it. And the way it's done, like that snake bite bitch looking at him and saying, kill yourself. Because if you haven't seen the movie, she can push. So if she tells you to do something, you do it. And like the way Dan was trying to tell him, don't go near her, and he didn't hear him and didn't listen. Billy was too good for this earth, honestly. They needed to take him. Why did I do this to myself? I'm unwell right now. Danny Trejo as the orderly from Rob Zombie's Halloween. My God. I still can't watch this scene. If I watch this movie, which I do every Halloween, so I just watched it a couple times, I literally have to like get up and leave the room during this scene. It fucking hurts me too much. The way Michael starts attacking him and he just keeps saying, I was good to you, Mikey. I was good to you, Mikey. And I get it was entirely necessary to show that about Michael's nature and his character, but goddamn, it was so fucking sad. Inside, this one is very specific. So this is the French version from 2007. And if you've never seen it, it's about this pregnant woman who one night this woman breaks into her house and is trying to kill her for unknown reasons until the end. So this woman is literally about to give birth and her mother shows up to the house mid-invasion to take her to the hospital. And thinking that her mother is the intruder, when she comes around the corner, she stabs her in the neck and she fucking dies. She accidentally kills her own mother. This poor woman is already like bloodied and injured and has been attacked by this woman all night and then just kills her own fucking mother. It is so devastating and just like so difficult to watch. This one is also very specific, and this is not a horror movie whatsoever. This is a movie called Daylight from like 1996. I probably watched this movie one time in 2002. This scene has stuck with me since then. I have never forgotten it. And I don't remember the specifics about it, but I remember that like this bridge collapses and there's this group that's stuck in there and they have to get out before the whole thing collapses and floods. And one of these guys, George, gets injured during the crash and they find this like passage, but it requires all of them to swim underwater to get to the other side. So because he's injured, he can't make it and he knows it, and he literally tells them like, just leave me behind. So they have to just leave him there to die by himself in this dark tunnel. And before they leave, he gives one of them a bracelet that he wants them to give to his girlfriend because he loves her. 20 years have gone by. 20 plus years have gone by of me seeing this movie. I still think about this all the time. Eden Lake. Honestly, few movies have devastated me like this movie has, to the point where I've only watched this once. I cannot watch it again. I want to. I don't think I can. So this couple is in the woods and they get attacked by this fucking awful group of teenagers. And Steve ends up dying and Jenny finds this engagement ring in his fucking bag. Like he was going to fucking propose to her, and it's so devastating. Okay, I feel like these final two are a bit more common and well known, but Adam from Saw, we don't even find out that he dies technically until the second movie. But the way Gordon cuts off his foot and crawls over to him and they just like embrace, and Adam says, don't leave me. And just like the pain and the fear in his voice, I can't. And Gordon does in fact leave him, and he is left to die in the dark by himself. And finally, another one that I think is pretty well known and common and people feel the same way, Dick Halloran from The Shining. This was so fucking unnecessary. Dick does not die in the book. There was no need for him to die. He's the only on-screen death, which is literally the only reason they even put this in the fucking movie. All he wanted to do was help. He literally flew from the warmth and safety of Florida to this fucking blizzard in Colorado to help this family that he just met, and he immediately gets offed. Justice for Dick, man. My man deserved better.
In this video, our grandma goes crazy and tries to kill us.
Oh, no. I do not like this ambiance. Grandma, why are you watching Static again? Grandma! Got your toes out just watching Static. That's when you know they've really lost it. Oh my God. Nah. No. Oh, God. Why is my grandma's face melting? Those are aliens. Okay. What happened to her? Hold on. What happened to her hands? Oh, no. Oh, no. What? Look at her hands. Huh? Oh, no.
Yep, c'est она одна дома, этот человек стоит неподвижно уже час. Он не шевелится и не разговаривает. Я не знаю, вызывать ли полицию или что мне делать.
Hello? Hello? Oi! 是不是小问？是不是小问？
Hey, can you help me? Yeah, sure. No, that is not me. Do not go in there. What?